Welcome to Arcane Anarchy. Welcome back to episode 2 of Arcane Anarchy. I am Dace the Voice, and I'm joined by our player Logan Donka, playing as...
So, my brain said as, short for Azure. Next person. I'm playing Azure. He's a cleric that will eventually become a light cleric. He's an Aasimar, the only one of his kind. Not that he's aware of that.
All right. I'm also joined by George, playing as...
Harmony, my tiefling warlock, completely original character. Please do not steal. Yeah.
Beautimus. And Ash, playing as...
Nova, the Goliath Nope. Goliath Paladin?
What class are you playing again?
I'm playing a Paladin! I swear! I don't know
Are we
why I
sure?
said Barbarian. I'm so tired.
Oh. And Galley, playing as...
Luria, the Circle of Spores Druid.
Outstanding. I mean, flawless entry, folks. Slanja.
I mean,
All
I
right.
messed up the first time around, so.
We're good. It's fine. We're not professionals. Yet. But you can help us by going to our Patreon. But I'll get there in a second. Let's do a quick recap. Last episode, we got to meet our adventurers as they came into the Weeping City, which is the place to get things done if you want things done on a nefarious level, if you will, throughout the entire realm of Sanctora. Sanctora is a place that is divided into 12 different realms and was done so by the Arcane Shattering. It brought forth an evil maelstrom, well, I shouldn't say evil, dark maelstrom in the center of the world that is ominous and scary as hell. So, last we left our heroes in the Shaded Lantern Tavern. They had met up with each other, barely done introductions, which we will get into again. We'll give descriptions. And then the NPC will continue on with his proposition for y'all. Starting back down the list we gave introductions in. Azure, can you describe yourself to the listeners for us, please? One more time.
Absolutely. Azure is wearing heavy armor, not particularly subtle in his appearance. Though beneath his heavy armor, he's wearing white robage, reminiscent of, surprisingly, a cleric. And he has translucent rainbow wings, platinum white / blonde hair, sort of a mixture of, and sunbursts within his irises. And he's seated at a table next to
Harmony.
Yeah. So Harmony is a young tiefling woman of Thonic heritage. That is what my advisors at Google have told me. She is quite young. She appears to be no older than 19 or 20. She has long black hair that goes into a ponytail that sits just at her side. She's wearing some relatively poor clothing, like a white shirt and a brown and purple cloak of sorts over that. It's not awful, but it's definitely seen better days. She has chalk white horns that kind of loop around her pointed ears and above, and in her hair is a flowery brooch. Yeah.
And then seated next to Harmony is Nova. If you would describe your character, please.
Wait, me?
I believe you're Nova. Last I checked.
Yeah, but I'm also not sitting next to Harmony.
Not next to, but you're at the same seats there with, and, you know, listening in on the conversation.
Okay, yeah. Nova is a 7'9" Goliath with frost giant heritage, with very choppy, messy, long hair. That's base blue with light blue and light purplish highlights. Like a pale bluish gray skin. They wear chainmail that doesn't really fit them quite right and looks really old. They have bandages that cover their hands and neck, and a rather fresh burn scar that pokes up onto their cheek.
And then, technically across the way a bit from Nova lies Luria. Would you please describe yourself for our listeners?
First of all, you see a stack of books, because why not? But behind that stack of books, there is in a lot of intricate braids. Her face is covered in tattoos and markings, and she has green eyes, and she is pretty much well taken care of by nature in her clothing. So she has a lot of different leather hides and things like that enshrouded on her. And then she also is wearing around her neck just a very simple fossilized mushroom. So that's Luria.
And as you're all sitting at this table, a gentleman with a foppish brown hair style, piercing green eyes with glasses sitting on the bridge of his nose, in a cloak that looks like it's brand new, looks at each of you and says, "First off, my name is Cassian, and the people I associate with require a particular item. This item is known as the Veil Shard Lens. It is rumored to be hidden in a place called the Echoing Spire, and it's buried down in these ruins I can take you to the edge of. I can only describe it as this, from what I've heard, as an orb that tends to resonate magical properties. And we all know how rare magic is in this world. And the people I work with desperately want it for research purposes. I know we can bring a lot of good to the city with this product, so I'm willing to offer you all a good chunk of money to go in and get this. If you're willing. Harmony, I know you said you're always down for some money if it doesn't involve any killing, and I don't think retrieving an artifact counts as that, does it?
Last I checked, nope. We should be all in the clear.
What say to you other three?
Okay.
If the artifact falls into the wrong hands, I suppose that could be quite bad. You claim to have good intentions. What good would you bring with it?
Well, I mean, look at the state of the city around here. I don't know if you spent any time here in the Weeping City, but everybody here is greatly suffering. And with this lens, I'm sure we could, at the very worst, sell it and bring some coin back into the economy to liven things up. And at very best, it may yield some magical properties that we can heal the sick from, or potentially see in the future so we can know if trouble's coming. There's just so many possibilities, but no, none of them are going to go for nefarious purposes.
I take your word on this. I will help you retrieve it.
If it means bringing light back some way, somehow, I'm all for it.
Well said.
All right. Well, just so you know, that this area is not going to be easy. I've hot-tailed that it's got traps, and like I said, there's other people that may know about this that might be going for it. But we've got to bring it back intact, and please don't mess with it. It's very dangerous, and I would hate to see if any of you hurt anybody with it accidentally.
I'm sure we'll be fine.
At this moment, the bartender, who right now his name escapes me, forgive me, is Garvin. That's right. Garvin comes back out with all y'all's drinks and sets them down, and then holds his hand out for coin. But Cassian doesn't get a drink put in front of him. How do y'all react?
He asked for a drink, or are you gonna come back and bring it? Like, I know there's a lot of us, so sometimes you need to make 2 trips.
Oh no, he was able to carry everybody's drink to the table. There's only 5 of you sitting at the table, and only 4 of you are drinking. So 2 drinks each hand is not not hard. He can do 4 drinks in one hand.
Mm-hmm. So our friend, he got a drink too. What was it? What did you want? Was it ale, mead? She looks like
Cassian?
Cassian. Yeah.
Cassian said, "No, I wasn't drinking tonight. I've got to work too late. And if you guys can bring the artifact back, no, I don't want anything to drink. What?
I could have swore you ordered an ale, even though you said you might not drink it. I could be mistaken.
Oh, very, very well. No, I'm not going to drink. There's no need." And he just says it comes
Whatever.
back down in
Just pay
front of
up.
you. Unexpected situations happen,
Yeah. Harmony doesn't press much too further. She's just like whatever, and goes for the cheap liquor that was brought for her.
Okay.
What is the price?
You asked that, Azure?
Yes.
Devin sure she uses. Oh, all 4 is only a silver. We're not expensive here.
So it would seem. Though, for your services and at this man's insistence to better the economy, perhaps have a gold, as I don't have any change.
I'll be right back with the change then. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't take a tip that big. That'd be insane.
If you're certain.
He runs to the back.
Fine. Oh, he's gone.
It'll take a few minutes. Do you guys have anything you want to say before he comes back with change?
No. Harmony just gets to her goes to her drink and comments on how shit it is.
Well, if it's any consolation, I'm not much a fan of this tea either. It's not bad, but it's bitter. Could use, I don't know, sugar?
Harmony squints a little at that, at you, like, well, you're the one who ordered tea at a bar.
It's actually the most mediocre tea that either Luria or Azure have ever tasted. As the DM rolled a 10, just to say, how good is the tea?
So Luria takes a drink, promptly kind of slowly spits it out and goes, "I'm disappointed. I'm highly disappointed." And grabs sugar and dumps it in.
You don't see sugar at the table. Do you have sugar on you?
Maybe. No. I need sugar.
No, you get the supper with the dirty leaf water. You order the dirty leaf water.
Well, most druids like dirty leaf water, but this just tastes bitter.
Let's
say, remind me in the future not to take your recommendations. It's nothing personal.
I am a creature of nature, so... I mean, it's not the worst tea I've ever had, but it's not the best either.
The barkeep comes back with the change and hands you back 9 silver, and then waits patiently to see if you leave it. Give him a tip. We're gonna leave it.
Well, I appreciate your service. Here you are, and I will tip 2 silver.
Oh, bless you, thank you.
You're
And he
welcome.
heads off to harass the guy in the corner that he'd been missing because he finally sees him.
Oh, you're quite flushed for cash.
I have no idea what constitutes a proper tip. This is my first time among mortals.
Well,
Go ahead.
keep doing what you're doing as long as you don't expect me to tip like that.
Okay. Thank you.
Cassian gives you an even weirder look when you refer to everyone else as mortals, as if you weren't one. But he shakes his head. All right. So here's the deal. The ruins are located on the other side of town, and I know that that seems like a bit of an inconvenience, but of course this is the best meeting place, and that happens to be where it's at. It's on the outskirts a bit. So you're going to have to get through the streets to get there. But once you get there, and you can get inside, it's not going to get any easier, I hate to say. But if you can get that out, and you guys can bring it back to me, whoever's left and brings it to me, give you 2,000 gold right off the top.
Harmony's eyes kind of widen at that. Like, okay, we got you covered. She's a little giddy at the idea.
Novo, what's your reaction to that?
Nova just stays quiet, just very slowly sipping on something that they are not enjoying.
Oh, everyone's doing suck ass.
Let's see how bad the ale is, right? Let the DM roll
Feel
for that.
lost,
The ale is slightly better than the tea.
as would be expected.
So Harmony's giddy. Nova's still quiet, doing the Nova thing. Luria, what's your reaction to that amount of money?
She goes to open her mouth and no words really come out, and she just sits there in shock for a moment. That's doable. Trying to just fit in with everybody else, knowing she's so different and not sure quite what she's going to benefit with the party, but she does know stuff.
And Azure, you did just pay for the round of drinks and said that money wasn't necessarily part of your thing. What does the size of that number bring to you?
I will take what I need to survive. Beyond that, the rest of it is rather the same to me. Past a certain point, it's excess.
Okay.
But this artifact, that holds curiosity. That's the reason I wish to go at all.
So Cassian says to you, all right, so I've got 2,000 for you, and I can give you general directions across the city. Harmony knows it pretty well. The area that you got to go to, and then meet me back here when you're done.
Of
And
course.
we use Foundry, and Foundry has wonderful tools to show time of the events and everything. Can you see the time there, Gally?
Yes.
Actually, when the offer comes up, Nova, I want you to roll me an insight check real quick for me, please.
Okay.
Because you've been awful quiet. You haven't interjected anything. And I think you've got a good read on the situation.
I got a 13.
Thank you. 13. So, how do I explain this? Nova, when you've been on the farm and had to sell your grain, you've kind of seen how some people haggle. And you notice that Cassian's, when he dropped the 2,000 gold price, might have been holding out on something.
Nova's gonna do that one. Little, like, taking a drink, but side-eyeing eyeing Cassian as he talks.
You're not gonna interject in any way? Okay. Understandable. Understandable. Harmony, give me a perception check, not an insight check, a perception check. This is to see whether you're paying close enough attention, because you do have 3 new faces around you. You may not be paying close attention to the person you know.
Gotcha. That'll be a 4.
That.
I think we got this.
Oh well. As we said during our after party, our first after party, the dice are the unsung member of the party. So you don't clock it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna close that door now. Sad to say.
Alright.
So Cassian says, "All right, if you can get across town and across this particular square here," and shows you a larger map, but points to this northeasternly direction to the city. If you can enter the ruins here, it is said that within the inner sanctum is where the Veil Shard lens is located. Bring that back to me, and we shall bring the light to the weeping city and potentially make it weep less.
Harmony's like pretty good to go. She believes going at nighttime is usually the best in these sort of situations. You know, go in the cover of the darkness, don't have to worry about anything.
I think that if we go now, that's fine. I'm not afraid of the darkness. I am a beacon of the light.
So the heroes have paid their tab. Cassian stands up and says, "I'm gonna go up to the upper tables and wait up there. I might be able to catch a catnap behind the door like the other guy did. Just come and see me when you're done." And moves off. And you guys immediately then exit.
Yeah.
I think so, unless anyone has objections.
Yeah, no, Harmony just downs the last of her drink and
All right. As you have exited the tavern and crossed the small portion of the city that Harmony knew to be safe, this is the area that is not. You see a large square that has a like a standard town square, if you will. It has a center monument in the middle, and you know this place to have various dangers, because Cassian warned you there could be anything from traps to other people coming in to this area trying to get the same thing you are. For those of you listening, they are entering the square and two abreast with Nova and Azure up front, Maria and Harmony in the back. How do we proceed, folks?
Harmony is going to look to the others and let me see here. How dangerous do I know this area to be? Like, is it best to like keep as quiet and avoid danger as possible, or is it just like don't look muggable?
So you're asking whether it's Chicago or Lebanon,
Yeah.
Beirut.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's closer to Beirut than it is New York or Chicago. So
Okay.
Dangerous.
Continue on.
Right?
this is a place that you've not been, and you've heard tales of people not necessarily coming back when they come rooting around in this area.
Harmony will bring this up to the rest of the group in that we should be quiet as we move. She looks to the people up front with the heavy armor. Try not to make too much noise. We don't want to draw too much attention to ourselves. And
I do not mean to be a bother. Would it be a problem if I light a lamp?
Oh,
I have
I
just
can,
been following your footsteps.
I
Once
can
we
light
left
one
the
for
tavern.
you.
Either is fine. I just feel like it might be easier for me to not trip over my feet if I could
Yes.
see my feet.
Certainly.
oh, I forget some people can't do that. Yeah. Harmony will let them get that situation sorted out.
If you a lantern to light, you're welcome to. But I can also illuminate something of yours
Are you
and
sure
spare you
you?
the. Go ahead.
Are you sure you want to do that?
Well,
Nova will just pull out a lantern and just light it, and then proceed to like hang it from their waist or something.
makes
Probably
sense.
safer.
A lantern hanging from Nova's waist is almost as high up as Luria is tall. Almost. At 7'9", that's pretty flippin' tall. I'm sorry, I can say fuck, can't I? Pretty fucking tall.
Indeed.
Yeah, we're well past the minute. Just saying.
Very true.
After you've lit your torch and can see everything, how would you like to proceed forward? Who's going forward first?
I mean, if you know the
Uh,
area best,
Well, not exactly. This isn't the place I would normally go to. You know, it's not my type of people, not type of my thing. Um, we should proceed with caution. I can go ahead. I mean, I can see everything mostly fine. Less color than I'd like, but I can see. I can move mostly quietly.
that's okay as well. If you knew the area, I would suggest that you go first, but I have no issue going first. I'll take the lead.
Good. Glad we could come to an arrangement. Harmony just kind of shrugs. And she always keeps a good few paces back, and I guess she's trying to like subtly stealth, sort of like not full on hide, but she's being mindful of her steps.
As you continue down trees towards the center of the square, there is some rubble from this building that falls down. I need everybody to make an athletics check to get away from the rubble and over to the other side.
Athletics.
Athletic.
I'll be 17 on Harmony.
13.
19.
11.
Azure. As you were competing for who was going first between you and Nova, you were the first one to get clipped. You get to take...
Get to as if it's a privilege.
Get to.
Get to.
Ooh!
Yay!
You get clobbered by a large rock for 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Is it like I didn't see it coming, or would I be able to add roleplay to the situation?
I would love to hear you roleplay to the situation.
Okay. I think
That's why we're
if
here.
there's a... I would hope so. I think if there's a moment where he notices that it's beginning to fall, I think his instinct would not be to step away from it, but to step forward towards it, with the intent to take the hit to prevent it from hitting anyone else.
It was a mighty hit indeed.
For
And
sure.
for it, you definitely suffered. In fact, the rest of you see this large boulder not clip Azure, but full on smack into him. He still is able to push it away from falling towards the rest of you, but he looks hurt.
Well, you should be careful from now on. Harmony doesn't really have much in the way of tending to this sort of thing. So
That's not bad advice. He's going to take a moment in his hands, and he will put his own hands upon himself. And I'm using the
I'm sorry. You
healing
need to say that.
hands.
You need to say that the right way. You touched yourself.
I touch myself. His hands glow for a moment, and he places them upon himself, and better than I take damage than any of you, I think.
As you reach the very center, each of you give me a perception check, please.
sure thing.
Oh boy, we're getting jumped in the back alley. Oh boy,
16.
our dark alley checks out.
Oh, doodles!
Oh, toodles!
Okay, after that insanity, what rolls did y'all get?
6.
Oh no.
Well, 16 is what I ended with.
Now,
Uh,
Luria, I want you to notice that 6 got a +3 and a +2. The +3 is from your skill, the +2 is from your proficiency, so that actually came out as an 11.
Okay. So, okay.
Yeah. Nova, what'd you get?
I got a 20.
As you approach the center, as you approach the square, Nova, the reason I asked you all for the perception checks is to see where you could potentially go. And you notice there seems to be a hole in the ground. And for the listeners, I clicked off what would be the northeastern corner of the square as they had approached from the west, crawled through the falling rubble. I would like everybody to give me a survival or investigation check.
You said survival or investigation?
Correct. So, before you tell me your roll, also tell me which you rolled.
Yeah, Harmony rolled survival and got a 10.
Okay?
Luria rolled investigation and got 11.
Okay?
Sorry, 12, not 11. I can't do math.
You're good. It is the other portion of this game, that's for certain.
Nova rolled survival and got an 8.
and Azure rolled survival and got a 21.
Alright, Azure, and especially since you are right there next to Nova, Azure, you feel compelled to stop Nova because you notice that the path in front of you does not look safe in any way, shape, or form. Those stones look too unsettled.
Hold on.
Hmm.
I don't believe that that's a safe path, especially for someone as large as yourself. I think that those stones are like the rubble from earlier. I don't think it's worth going over there.
I see your point. That just looked like an opening to me, but
I agree. It does. It may hold many curiosities, but for now, I don't believe it's worth the possibility of your life. Perhaps another time. Harmony, which way? It's, you said this direction, correct? And he would gesture forward again.
Nova points to the direction that they saw the hole anyway.
Is that the way we need to go?
From what Cassian had told you, that seems so, yes. You just know that area is difficult.
Let's see. Wow.
Maybe there's another way around. We can check the other sides.
Definitely a good idea. Let's do that.
I think. Which way do we want to go? North, east.
as they're talking, Nova's kind of looking for just a big loose rock that they're just going to toss at the section that looks unstable, see what happens.
How big of a loose rock are we talking? Are we talking bread box or bigger?
Probably a little bit bigger than a bread box. Like throwing a young child?
You can find one just to your northwest. There's a piece that's already fallen off of one of the buildings that's got a very large piece. If you want to pick that up and chuck it, I'm gonna need an athletics check from you, Goliath. That's just how this works.
And that's fine. I was just make it known what Nova was thinking. And I got a 15.
With a 15, you pick up that stone, and you can throw it across. When you throw it, it does knock a chunk that seems to fall down into. Imagine like if you were walking down the center of the street, but there was a part that fell into the actual sewer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of like that, but more like a small pothole. You didn't collapse the full cavern, just a part of it. You threw a chunk in, and it hit that, and it all collapsed. That portion chunked down and fell down, revealing that it wasn't safe to cross.
Sure, you were right.
Unfortunately, it does add to our current troubles. I don't know what we are to do to get over there.
I mean, if we knock enough of it down, we can attempt to just climb down into it. Remove the
suppose.
aspect of falling.
Not a bad idea. Okay, go for it.
Yeah,
Alright.
It's not safe, but it's not impossible.
As I say go for it, Azure will gently touch Nova's arm and say, "May the light guide you." And for athletics, I'd like to cast guidance.
Let's see that athletics roll.
And is guidance still a D4?
Yeah.
Guidance is still a D4, yes.
Thank you. 18.
Yeah, 18. That is freaking hot. You've got this, Nova. You pass.
Yes. Now is when I kind of wish that I had said this, what Nova's idea was beforehand. Nova knows that they're big and tall and heavy, and the easiest way to knock something down is through the biggest, tallest, heaviest thing. They were just going to literally just run and jump into it to try to break it the rest of the way.
Wow. You can totally run and jump across. 18 is an 18 for sure. So when you jump across this portion that you knew was unsafe, you get to the other side of where your rock had hit, and you thought maybe it was. But
That's not what I meant.
my apologies.
I meant they were going to finish what they had started with the rock, but with their body.
Oh, snapple dapples. Gotcha.
Cannonball into that bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, then I need an acrobatics check.
That's going to be fun.
To see if you fall all the way in, or whether you're able to catch yourself and pop back out.
I got a 5.
The dice tell their tale. That 5 says that you fell straight your butt in there. You're gonna take a wee bit of damage. Now, I'm so sorry. Not really. This is how we, as DMs, play, as we do damage to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But it's only 1 because you're able to see the fact that you're falling and prepare yourself a bit. You take a single damage as you fall down into this small pit area where the floor was weakened. You're about 10 feet down. Now you got to get out of there. I mean, yes, you're 7'9". You can reach the top. Can you pull yourself up?
Oh, I thought we had to go down. I was making an entrance.
Oh no, this area where you had thrown the rock and whatnot, that collapses into an actual pit.
Oh, it's not connected to the hole. Well,
Correct. That's what he said. It's not connected to the
fair.
hole. Right.
Nova's just gonna be like, I didn't really think this way through, but we'll just kind of look up and go, if necessary, I can at least do this, and they're going to like hold up their shield above their head and create a more stable walkway for everybody else to walk across, and then figure out how the fuck they're getting out at their own.
Okay, all said, like it. Gally, I heard you talking there in the background. What did Gloria have to say?
She's just sitting there in awe that all that just happened. So she's just awestruck. You heard her gasp.
Oh, that was a gasp we heard. That's
Yeah.
fine. Harmony, what's your reaction as this giant just jumped, like literally pounded on
Yeah.
stone, like floor stomped and fell into a pit?
Harmony would just think that was a very stupid idea, but we'll kind of laugh it off a little bit, like, well, I mean, that's one way of solving the problem, though I think you've just created another.
All right, so Nova's totally held up their shield to act as a platform for y'all to walk across. Do you all walk across using their shield?
Yeah, Harmony would be like the first to walk across. You just kind of like confidently like step and then step over.
Beautiful. Harmony, give me an acrobatics check at advantage because you're getting the help action from Nova with that shield.
All right. That'll be a 15.
15 totally passes. You are across and safe.
I'm short, but I'm going to give it a try.
Go for it. Go for it, Luria. Acrobatics at advantage.
15.
15. You step onto the shield. You walk a step or two onto the shield. You step across the other side. You are across right next to Harmony. No problem. Azure.
But if this was your intent, I commend you. Though, 14.
With a 14, Azure can totally cross. Does anybody help Nova
Yes.
get out of the hole?
Yes.
Yes. I tried
All right,
to.
Nova.
Harmony doesn't.
All right. Well, with both of them, I have no choice but to give you advantage on an athletics check to get up out of the hole there, Nova. Please?
Yeah, that's a 24.
That 24 totally says you're up and out of the hole. However, as soon as you guys get across the hole and start about 10 feet in front of the door, there are... in fact, actually, everybody give me a quick perception check. Or Arcana if you really want to.
I think I'll take my perception.
Call out your rolls, my friends.
Perception with a dirty 20 on Harmony.
Dirty 20. Dirty.
Perception
Nate?
at 30. Okay.
Sorry.
13 for Luria.
13 for Luria. Azure.
19.
And Nova.
Nova got a 15.
Because y'all are, younglings and we're not mean around here, that tells you, as you enter this area, you see glyphs on the walls surrounding this area. Glyphs you know that, if activated, if they are triggered, will hurt you.
Harmony kind of freezes, like straight up, just completely freezes and does not move at all.
Nice. What's everybody else doing?
Would Luria recognize any of the symbols at all? For exactly what they mean.
Well, that's kind of what your perception check was, for sure. Yeah, these are glyphs of warding. They're designed to keep people out of this area. And you know full well that they will hurt you if given the chance. But you also know that they can be disarmed.
Looking around for clues. In the same spot, not moving.
You know with these glyphs that you don't necessarily have to freeze, but you can't cross a certain threshold. Like this line that's just in front of where Harmony is, there's going to be an issue. But you can go up to the glyphs that are here and disarm them. And you can do the same here, but I'm only going to give you guys one check to be able to disarm the glyphs. To disarm them, you either have to give me an Arcana check or a sleight of hand check. If you fail, they trigger.
Oh,
Since there are 4, I'm going to give you each one.
delightful.
But you can use your choice of Arcana or Sleight of Hand.
Harmony is still quite frozen. She's not really able to move.
Okay, and what's leading you to say that?
But Nova for sleight of hand got a nat 20.
Yeah, Nova. It's like you were born to do this for some reason. You see exactly which point you have to pull the glyph literally off the wall with that kind of a check. Harmony is scared, terrified of this glyph. In fact, Harmony, you need to ask somebody else to do yours.
Yeah.
You've seen what everybody else rolled. Well, you've seen what Luria and Nova rolled. Azure, give me your roll first, please. Arcana or Sleight of Hand.
Thank you. 15.
Pick your. Choose who you want to help you with your glyph, Harmony.
Harmony will just look over to Luria well, it was maybe a bit rough. It seemed like she probably knew the most of what she was doing.
Oh, so that means that Nova's sleight of hand check was so slick that they were able to pull that glyph up off the wall without even you noticing.
Yeah.
So Nova, kudos. You gonna
I-
help Harmony?
Yes, I will help for the greater good. Here we go.
Harmony, you still get. Do you still get to make the check? Not Luria,
Oh,
but you
Oh.
will get advantage on it because Luria is
Okay.
helping you.
Okay, well, Arcana. Well, that's even better. So I'm not gonna complain.
You can't complain because you still pass. With Luria guiding you, you're able to, you guys, disarm glyphs. Why do you have to roll so well? I hope you don't roll this well later in the campaign so I can punish you.
After the wards are done, like Harmony takes like a huge sigh of relief, and like it seems like she nearly faints for a second before regathering her composure. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Well, that went well.
Don't say.
Luria just kind of tilts her head and says, "Are you okay?"
Yeah. I'm fine. Everything's fine.
You know, I'm not sure if anyone's ever told you, but you're not a very good liar.
I'm not lying. Everything's fine.
My
Hmm.
point.
I think you guys are just reading too much into this. We got a job to do. Well, let's get going.
Was there not a fifth glyph up here?
So, I'm going to say actually, you just let that in there. So this is a learning experience for all of us, and I'll even admit my own fallacies and capacity for fallibility to the listeners and everybody. When looking over the numbers, Luria, you actually didn't pass your check. So we're going to say that there wasn't knowledge of that fifth glyph. And I need everybody to make a dexterity save, please, as that one right in front of the door explodes.
Okay, I will use my heroic inspiration. Dexterity saving throw.
You have to call that out before you use it.
Let me roll it again. Dexterity saving.
No, your heroic inspiration is if you know it's failed, you may use it then. You don't have to call it beforehand.
I see.
Oh, well, I think a 10 failed.
I
10 totally did.
have to agree.
Does a 14.
So, all right. So we have a 14 from Harmony,
Azure rolled a 5.
a 5 from Azure. It looks like a 21 from Luria and a 19 from Nova.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm sad. Not
you're
sad.
not.
Azure and Harmony, who did not pass, you take 7 damage as force damage as this clip explodes. And Harmony and Nova and Luria, even though you pass, you still take half damage. So please take 3 force damage.
I imagine the scene is something like, "You are a terrible liar. I'm not lying. Well, that just proves my point." And then it's, oof.
Oof.
This just proves my point. Oh.
As Luria goes, I actually failed at that. That was bad. Blink, blink.
Azure's looking up at the sky, flat on his back, and he's like, "You don't say. Why did I choose to go out again?"
All right. Well, after the smoke clears and everybody is seriously wounded, like, dear friend, Azure, you are more bloodied than you've ever been in your existence from that explosion.
Yes, I would say I've been through worse, but that's simply not true. This is, in short, the worst.
In short, it definitely is.
Nova would hold their hand out for Azure to help him back up.
Thank
As
you.
this happens, Harmony's like, as she's knocked to the ground, she's like start crawling back, nearly back into that hole that was created, but stopping just before it. Like, fuck.
I told you, you're not a very good liar. But in any case, here, I don't want you being hurt.
It's fine. I'm fine. Harmony tries to get up.
I don't know how many times I must tell you, you're a terrible liar. Here. Take this. It's not much, but it should help. And he says a single word in Celestial, and you heal for 10 HP.
Not much. I'm healed back to full. Harmony gets up, and while definitely a little, her clothes still scratched up and damaged, and maybe a little sore. Oh, that feels pretty good. I'm not
And
gonna lie.
Nova healed Azure as they helped him up.
Thank you. That's much better.
Wow, so that was amazing. The 2 that were the worst off are now the best off.
Funny
Never
how
punished.
that works. Never punished.
Now, this would be a moment that I will offer you the opportunity for a short rest, should you want it. And I'll even offer it before you take the spells that you would use to heal. Or you can spend those heals and continue on.
I think it's worth it to use the heals. Unless we're using instant short rests, I don't want to rest in a place like this.
No, I do short rests and I do increase the number of short rests, but I don't necessarily do them instantaneous in the same way because time is still a thing.
Of course. No, I don't wish to rest here. If we are to rest, I feel it ought to be somewhere that doesn't have crumbling earth and explosive glyphs. A bed would be nice.
We might also, with that little explosion, we might have called some unwanted attention. It's probably best if we can move to get moving.
I agree. Let's continue.
Alrighty. And as you descend down to the next level, this is where we're going to end session number 2.
Perfect. It's also descend is the word you're looking for. I think you said ascend down the flight of stairs. Did I mishear you?
Alright, well then I'm going to totally edit this entire part out for the fire. As you descend down the stairs, this is where we're going to end session 2. Check us out over on Patreon at Arcane Anarchy Podcast. Thanks for joining. And if you do join our Patreon, next episode you could be given a shout out. So follow us and subscribe. Thanks. Say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye,
Bye.
everyone.
See ya.
Goodbye,
Bye.
everyone.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to Arcane Anarchy. We couldn't do this without wonderful programs such as Pocket Bard, who provides the background music. We couldn't do this entire production without Audacity. So a big shout out to those companies for your software, and we thank you. Have a great day.